Welcome to another edition of Green is Good. This is the Green Festival edition of Green is Good here in beautiful Washington, D.C. And we're so honored to have with us today Sascha Maraj. He's the local market manager in D.C. for Relay Foods, and you can find them at relayfoods.com. Sascha, welcome.
Thank you.
You know, so we have these beautiful foods in front of us. Before we get talking about all the great work you're doing at Relay Foods, tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you even, come to this time in your life that you're working for Relay Foods? Was this something that always interested you, or is this an opportunity that came up along the way you said, I got to go for it?
So I kind of got started in, I guess you could say, the green movement back in college.
Oh.
So I went to University of Maryland, and me and a couple other of my fellow classmates, we started Ink Up, which was a printer ink refilling business on campus.
So you were an ecopreneur back in your college days.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to do. And it was actually pretty successful. It was cool. We won Pitch Dingman, which is like an entrepreneurship centered business competition, which was really cool, put on by the Dingman Center for Entrepreneurship.
And then what happened after college? Did you sell it, or what were you unwounded? What happened?
We dissolved, and then we split the money, and then I personally went to go work for Target. I was an executive team leader for about 2 years. Then I figured out that retail in a big corporation probably wasn't where I wanted to be and where I could make the most impact. So after 2 years, I left Target, and then kind of took a couple months to figure out, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to get involved in, how I could get back involved with startups. And eventually I found Relay Foods. I read their mission statement, read that they were hiring, and that
was your epiphany.
Yeah.
So where did you read about them?
Online. So I went to various DC websites focused on entrepreneurship, and just started reading through all the companies that I could find. And then whichever ones resonated, I called or contacted to see if they were hiring. And then eventually Relay Foods called me back.
So let's talk about Relay Foods. We got some of the great food in front of us.
Yep.
When was Relay Foods started, and what's their general business proposition?
So we got started in around about 2009. Zach Buckner, a UVA grad down in Charlottesville, started it. And the way the story goes is that he was frustrated with the conventional point-to-point food model and how everything was working. So, somebody would go from their house to the grocery store, and then another person would go from their house to the grocery store, and it's just inefficient. So what he wanted to do was take the point-to-point system that currently existed and make a hub and spoke model where everybody comes to a central location. It reduces your carbon footprint, and it makes everything more fresh. So you get things directly from the farm, as opposed to things coming from the farm to a distributor to the grocery store waiting around for a few days.
Wow.
That's how it got started.
So wait a second. So explain how it works here in DC then. How would I buy some of this great produce here?
Yeah, so what you can do is log on to relayfoods.com.
Yeah.
There we have almost 6,000 products from I think it's almost 200 local producers. So that's people in Union Kitchen, that's local farms in the area, people who make honey, who make kombucha. Actually, a lot of our vendors are here, which is pretty cool.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and then
it's like a relay festival here, a little Relay Foods festival within the Green Festival.
Yep. And then you go online, there are no subscription fees, there are no order minimums. You just hop on, poke on whatever you want, add it to your cart, and we'll either deliver it to your door, or you can pick up for free at any one of our local pickup locations in the area.
How convenient is that?
Mm-hmm.
So as the local market manager, what are you doing on a regular basis for Relay Foods?
So my job is essentially this, like telling the community what Relay is, explaining what we do to the public, and just trying to get the word out there.
Tell me about, so you have 6,000 products?
Yeah, just about.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have some beautiful veggies here in front of us, but how wide, so is it baked goods, is honey, is kombucha, it's as wide as you could think?
Yep, so what we really aim to be is like a one-stop shop for groceries and local and organic food. So we have things like produce, meat and fish, bakery, pantry, a dairy and egg section, a frozen section, deli. It's everything. We have cleaning supplies, paper towels, things like that.
What's considered local nowadays as a term of art? Is it a 100-mile radius? Is it a 200? How many mile radius is still considered local to fit in the Relay Foods business model?
So generally speaking, it's within, I believe it's within 150 miles of our fulfillment center.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And why choose local and organic? Why is that so important to your generation and to everyone out there right now?
That's a really good question. So I'll start with organic. So organic's important because when you buy conventional produce, you don't really know how it was raised. You don't know what pesticides may be on it. You don't know what antibiotics may have been injected into the animals. You just don't know. There's a lack of transparency. But with organic, you have a better sense of what you're getting. So you know that there are no pesticides used. You know that there were no hormones or antibiotics or anything else put into it. And with local takes that almost one step further. So I think personally the coolest thing about local food is you can actually go visit your farmer. So on our website,
wow,
you can see the address of where all your food's coming from. So if you wanted to, you could go down to Virginia or Maryland or DC, wherever it's coming from. You could go shake hands with the farmer, be like, hey, I want to see this, and they'll show you. And we've actually done that with quite a few of our producers. I've gone and seen the Wolf Creek Farm, which is all grass-fed beef. I've been to Polyface.
Wow.
I've been to a bunch of other producers, and that I think is the best thing about local.
How cool is that? Mm-hmm. How about baked goods? Do you sell local baked goods as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So some of our most popular ones are like Goldilocks Goodies. They're an all gluten-free bakery, and we have a lot of baked goods in the area.
That is great. Mm-hmm. So in terms of who is your favorite farmer out of all the farmers that grow for you?
That's a tough question.
I know. I don't want to get you in trouble here.
I think my favorite farmer that, at least that I've visited, has probably got to be Joel Salatin of Polyface Farms. I'm sure you've heard him. He's pretty famous. He's written a bunch of books, and he's really a pioneer of the whole sustainable permaculture, agriculture movement. And he was doing it back in the 70s. What
does he grow? What's his products?
All sorts of stuff. So my favorite thing from him, I think, has got to be his grass-fed beef and his pasture-raised eggs. But he has beef, he has ducks, he has rabbits, he has chickens, of course. He has all sorts of different things.
And so how does someone sign up to have their food become part of the Relay Foods family?
So at the bottom of our website, there's a Become a Producer link. And aspiring producers in the area, they can just go there, fill out a little bit about their product, and then our team, our people will get in contact with them, and they'll sample their products. They'll make sure that there's a kind of a niche for it and a demand for it, and then if there is, then they'll get on the website.
Then you're approved.
Yep.
So right now, the business launch, when did Relay Foods launch?
I believe 2009.
Okay, so how many users right now do you have? How many members do you have that are using Relay Foods on a regular basis?
That's a tough question.
Okay, but around, in the thousands, tens of thousands.
Yeah, so across all markets, we're in Baltimore, we're in the DC metro area, we're in Virginia, and then North Carolina. So it's definitely in the thousands, but I couldn't quote you an exact number.
And there's a local market manager like you in each market?
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm one of 4 in the DC metro area. And then I think there are 2 or 3 up in Baltimore, and then there are ones in Virginia and North Carolina.
What's the Relay Foods meal planning program?
So meal planning, we just rolled it out. It's brand new. And it's basically what you can do is what we did, I should say, is we got a registered dietitian to come on board and create, I think there are 150 to 300 now meals. And what you can do is you can actually click on any one of them. And once you do that, it'll drop everything that you need into your cart. So it's a one-stop shop. You just click the button. It drops everything in. You can customize it. So let's say you're really into, organic tomatoes, but you don't really care about organic, bananas, let's say, for whatever the salad you're making.
Right.
You can change it so it adjusts the price. And what we really try to do is make it so that it's both affordable and easy. So we have this saying 20 under 20. So ideally, it would cost $20 to feed a family of 4, and then the meal would take under 20 minutes to produce. So that's our goal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How are people responding so far?
It's been great. It's definitely exceeded all of our initial expectations during rollout, and it's just been growing since.
For those listeners who've joined us and viewers who've joined us, this is John Shigarian and Sascha Maraj at the Green Festival, Green is Good special edition. And we're talking about Sascha's great company that he works for. He's a local market manager here in the DC area for Relay Foods. You can find them at relayfoods.com. How many people work for the company now, Sascha?
If I were to take a guess, I'm not sure of the exact number, but I think it's around 150 to 200.
It sounds like this is a program that can be rolled out almost in every metro region across America. Is this the founders and entrepreneurs' dream of the company?
So one of the coolest things about us is because of our, like I said, hub and spoke model, it means that we can serve places that are generally underserved. So one of the nice things about us as opposed to some of our competitors in other regions is that we don't have to necessarily be in a metro area. We can start in a metro area, then expand out to suburbs. And it's a relatively, or at least for us, like operationally, it's relatively inexpensive to add a new area because we're not building brick and mortar stores. We're not, we don't have the same overhead a lot of companies have.
Right, gotcha. So you feel that you're with a very big growth company. This will grow to other regions in the years ahead.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So when I log on, and I order my stuff, when does the stuff get delivered to me? Is it daily or is it weekly, or when does that stuff get delivered?
So if you live inside the Beltway, then you can get delivery 6 days out of the week. So every day except for Sunday, you could get an apple a day if you wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, and then the pickups, they're each on different days. Usually the truck is there between 3 and 7 p.m. and they're all across the metro area.
And how do you keep things cold if I order something that needs to get to me that's cold?
That's a good question too. So we actually have these Rubbermaid totes, and then what we do is we insulate them. We put a cold pack on the bottom, so everything that needs to stay cold stays cold, and then anything needs to stay frozen. Let's say ice cream, like Marenco's ice cream is actually based out of Silver Spring. They're our vendor of the month.
Wow.
So that stuff gets
How good is the
packaged.
ice cream?
It's great.
It's amazing.
It's fantastic.
Oh, God. There you go.
That gets packaged in dry ice, freezer sealed bags.
Gotcha. What happens if something gets delivered to me and I'm like, I didn't want this today. I made a mistake ordering, or something happened. What happens then?
Heaven forbid that ever happen, but if it does, we have a 100% money back guarantee unconditionally. So let's say you bought some tomatoes and you're like, I just don't need these tomatoes. I don't even know why I bought them. Or let's say they weren't even bad, but they started to get a little wrinkly. It's just not something you would pick out. What you can do is you can either call me, or you can call our customer happiness team. You can chat with us. You can email us. Anybody on the Relay team, they'll refund your whatever the item is immediately. And in a lot of cases, we can even get you, like a discount on new stuff or something as a kind of.
This is great. So, if I live in an apartment building or a condo, no problem in terms of drop off and delivery and all that other kind of stuff.
No, none whatsoever. So a lot of times we'll get buzzed up, or you can also pick exactly what window that you want things delivered, so you can coordinate when you'll be home. But even if that isn't the case, then you can actually leave our drivers a little message about where to leave it. So if you're in an apartment building, you can leave them the code, or if that's not your thing, you can tell them to leave it with the front desk or anything. They're really good about getting you your food. So
Sascha, as you look back, good decision to leave the executive training program and come over here?
Absolutely. I would highly recommend anybody who's interested in entrepreneurship or the sustainability movement to get involved with a local green startup, because they're just so much fun to work for. And when you actually believe in what you're doing and the mission and all that stuff, it just makes work so much more fun.
Your generation, millennials, seem really, of course, making money is important, for all of us. But everything has to have a social bottom line, a mission bottom line for your generation. And it sounds like it's becoming infectious both below you and above you now too, huh?
Yeah, it's one thing to work for a company, but it's a completely different thing to believe in what a company does. And actually, when I was talking with the Bucci guys, we just signed Bucci on a little while ago.
Yeah.
But it's just working and talking with them and seeing their passion. It makes what we're doing just all the more meaningful.
How many of you are here? How many of your local market managers or other ambassadors are with you from Relay Foods here at the Green Festival?
We have a group of 5 over by our booth, and they're just people coming over. We're all constantly talking to people.
Are you passing out brochures and giving them the website and telling them to sign up and let's get going?
Actually, we're generally paper free. We try to be as eco-friendly as we can, but we do have little refrigerator magnets with our mascots Bo and Tweet on them.
Why is Bo and Tweet your mascots?
To be 100% honest, I'm not sure, but Bo's a cow, Tweet is a bird on top of Bo. Very cute. But that got decided before I came
Well,
on
we're
the scene.
so happy you're here at the Green Festivals. We're so happy we got a chance to interview you today. We've been with Sascha Maraj. He's a local market manager here in DC for Relay Foods. And to learn more about Relay Foods or to sign up for Relay Foods delivery service for their 6,000 or so great local organic products, go to relayfoods.com. Sascha, we're so thankful for you, for your partners at Relay Foods. You guys are making the world a better place, and you are truly living proof that green is good.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.